And what I have to say about ending, well, the ending could be really good, but well, it was really paced well. I mean, the pacing was well done, but well, maybe it wasn't so good than the opening. But still, I enjoyed both, so yeah. And animation. Well, you cannot be expecting a lot of 2009 series, but the animation is actually really good. Only thing they censored some things. I mean, this anime is really bloody and gory, so that's why. And there's really brutal scenes in this anime, so I kind of like understand why they censored this. So yeah, and yeah. So now I'm going to discuss these other Ushiromiya family members. So yeah, after there is this man in the family called Kinzo. So Kinzo is basically this old guy who is really, well, he's really angry about the other Ushiromiya family members because he basically doesn't want doesn't want to share his inheritance with family. So yeah, and he's really scary kind of character too. Then there is Eva, and Eva is George's mother, and he's basically this woman who's always making some kind of jokes around with others, and might be the most of these people who are interested in Kinzo's treasure and inheritance. So yeah. And then there is this woman named Rosa, and Rosa is basically Maria's mother, but she's very bad mother, and I mean it's really bad. So he's basically, well, not in psycho, but well, he's basically really bad from it because she always blames Maria for anything that Maria is really disturbing and really stupid sometimes in the anime when she's always ooh in every sentence. It's kind of like annoying sometimes. So yeah. But overall, and then there is this man called Hideyoshi, and Hideyoshi is this Eva's kind of like husband. So Hideyoshi is always nice to everyone and don't talk about behind everyone's back, and yeah, he's kind of cool characters. Then we heard this man called Kraus, and Kraus is this very business independent man who is, well, always thinking about some business things, and he's basically asking the family's opinions about the inheritance and saying that other families, you don't deserve this inheritance because you only think about money and so on. So yeah. And then we have this man called Rudolph. Rudolph is actually Butler's father, and Rudolph is very gently and he's very cool man, and yeah, I don't have much to say about him. So yeah. And of course then we have this woman named Natsushi, and Natsushi is Jessica's mother. So Natsushi is really, I mean, weak kind of characters because she is easily going to cry in a lot of scenes. You see him only crying, and yeah. And then there is these witches, like I'm talking about when this series has witch, it's basically have witches, so yeah. And this mysterious witch I already talked about is named Beatrice. And Beatrice was actually Kinzo's lover, and therefore she is very interested in Kinzo's inheritance, and basically she's looking for this golden land, like I told earlier, and the gold. So yeah. And then there is witch named Burncastle in the anime. Now, if you may remember the Higurashi anime, and there was this girl named Furude Rika. So yeah. So he basically looks like the adult form of Rika, but I mean, a lot of people are saying that she isn't basically in Rika, so I guess she's basically kind of something like she's maybe extracted from Rika or something like that. Yeah. I don't actually know Bernkastel very well because I haven't read about the manga yet, so I'm reading it now, so yeah. And then we have these servants that are, so there's, I mean, butlers, so yeah. So first there's Genji, who's basically this really loyal, and he's maybe the only person that Kinzo can trust because he's basically like Kinzo's right man. And yeah. And there we have, then we have this boy called Canon, and actually Canon isn't his real name, but it's never told in the anime what is his real name, so yeah. And Canon is very shy, and it's kind of like annoying because in every time he speaks, he says something like, "No, I don't call myself human. That I'm furniture." And to be honest, I don't actually get it. That I don't actually got this furniture thing that was going on with this anime. So yeah. And of course, her sister is called Shannon, and Shannon is also a very shy girl. In the past, Battler did like Shannon very much, but in now, George and Shannon are basically in couple, so yeah. And there is some romantic scenes going between them, so yeah. And yeah, then we have Beatrice's servants called Ronowe. And Ronowe is like Genji's brother, or it like seems so yeah. And Ronowe is very loyal to Beatrice and other witches, and he can basically give advice for Beatrice, and because Beatrice is playing this game with Battler, this kind of like this word playing game that everything she says in red comes true, and everything Battler gives his reasoning in blue, and she can tell if the reasoning is correct or not, so yeah. And yeah, what we then have, Yeah, I guess that's about the characters. Most important only. I mean, there is a lot of characters, so I'm not going to now give you all those names. So if you want to know more about characters, you have to watch the anime. But there's really cool characters on it. So yeah. And what I have to say about in whole Umineko no Naku Koro ni was very good series until the end of it, which is basically screwed by Dean. And I now understand why many people want to read the visual novel and don't want to watch the anime. And many people also likes manga, and I think manga is also better than anime because there's just the plot is okay, but then it's getting like sidetracked in somewhere in anime. So yeah, and there's many things left out. Many things left out. So yeah, and yeah. So Umineko no Nakukoroni is really decent anime. I mean the only problem is that you don't get to meet you don't get to see the characters' reactions and kind of like getting to know them well in the series, so there's not much character development happening. Of course there's some of it, but not much, so yeah. So my final grade for Umineko no Naku Koro ni anime is going to be 9 out of 10. So yeah. Why I'm giving it 9 is basically because I think the animation is good and the music is pretty good also. And story is, well, it's alright, so yeah. That's why I'm giving it 9. So yeah, that's about it, guys. So what are your thoughts about this series, and what are you expecting if the second season is going to be released? I mean, there's been some rumors about that Umineko no Naku Koro ni Chiru is made it in anime after the visual novel finished the story and so on. So yeah, I'm Mixacy and I thank you for watching this video, and yeah, thanks again.